Nandana Gaja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pesthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव भगवान की, निताई गौर सुंदर की, पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Studying from Granth Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 13, Text number 37. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Patitwan Srila Prabhupada ki jai. स विप्रानुमतो राजा गृहीत्वाञ्जलि उदनम् अवघ्राय 39 text number 39. स बाल एव पुरुषो मातामहम् अनुव्रतः अधमासोद्भवं मृत्युम् अधर्मांसोद्भवं मृत्युम् तेनाभवद् अधार्मिकः। स बाल एव पुरुषो मातामहम् अनुव्रतः अधमांसोद्भवं मृत्युम् तेनाभवद् अधार्मिकः। स बाल एव पुरुषो मातामहम् अनुव्रतः अधर्मासोद्भवं मृत्युम् तेनाभवद् अधार्मिकः। स बाल एव पुरुषो मातामहम् अनुव्रतः अधर्मांसोद्भवं मृत्युम् तेनाभवद् अधार्मिकः। स बाल एव पुरुषो मातामहम् अनुव्रतः अधर्मांसोद्भवं मृत्युम् तेनाभवद् अधार्मिकः। स बाल एव पुरुषो अधर्मांसोद्भवं मृत्युम् Word for word meaning? Sa, that, balah, child, eva, certainly, purusah, male, mata maham, maternal grandfather, anuvrata, a follower of adharma, of irreligion, amsa, from a portion, udbhavam, who appeared, mrityum, death, tena, by this, abhavat, he became, adharmikah, irreligious. Translation purport by Srila Ki Jai. The boy was born partially in the dynasty of irreligion. His grandfather was the death personified, and the boy grew up as his follower. He became a greatly irreligious person. Once again, that boy was born partially in the dynasty of irreligion. His grandfather was death personified, and the boy grew up as his follower. He became a greatly irreligious person. The child's mother, Sunita, was the daughter of death personified. Generally, the daughter receives the qualification of her father, and the son acquires those of the mother. So, according to the axiomatic truth that things equal to same thing are equal to one another, the child born of King Anga became the follower of his maternal grandfather. According to Smriti Shastra, a child generally follows the principle of his maternal uncle's house. Naranam Matula Karma means that a child generally follows the qualities of his maternal family. If a maternal family is very corrupt or sinful, the child, even though born of a good father, becomes a victim of the maternal family. According to Vedic civilization, therefore, before the marriage takes place, an account is taken of both the boys' and girls' families. If according to astrological calculation the combination is perfect and marriage takes place. Sometimes, however, there is a mistake and family life becomes frustrating. It appears that King Anga did not get a very good wife in Sunita because she was the daughter of death personified. Sometimes the Lord arranges an unfortunate wife for his devotee so that gradually, due to family circumstances, the devotee becomes detached from his wife and home and makes progress in devotional life. It appears that by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead King Anga, although a pious devotee got an unfortunate wife like Sunita and later on a bad child like Vena, but the result was that he got complete pure freedom from the entanglement of family life and left home to back to go back to Godhead. ॐ तत्सत् ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यम् ईश्वरम्. So he described that how such a child like Maharaj Vena was born to such a great personality like Maharaj Anga. Maharaj Anga was described as very religious, very powerful, very saintly king, which is descendant of Dhruva Maharaj. To him, how such a son was born? It will be actually surprise to whoever hears this. That's so and so was born to such a person. How is this? How this happens? Hmm? So this account is narrated here in Srimad Bhagavatam. This would have been also uh, 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 people would have wanted to know this Maharaja Parikshit would have wanted to hear why this happened, that Vena was born to Maharaj Anga. It is described here that somehow or other by mistake uh, Maharaj Anga was born to Suniti, and who was daughter of Death personified. So Prabhupada is writing here that daughter inherits the quality of a father and son inherits the quality of mother. So Prabhupada is saying that it's axiomatic truth. A is equal to B and B is equal to C. Then A is equal to C. So grandfather is equal to mother. Mother equal to son. So son is equal to grandfather. So in this way, King Vena acquired the qualities, demoniac qualities of his grandfather was Death personified. And he became very cruel, very cruel. So much described, will be described further that while playing, he'll get angry upon his friends and they'll just take his neck and tear it. And then he will be playing, swimming with his friends, and he will just take one of them and put him inside the water till he dies. And he'll unnecessarily punish people. Very, very cruel. He doesn't have this sense, what is right, what is wrong. He was thinking that, actually he is doing good thing. By punishing them, he is purifying them. Like when person is punished, like a thief is punished by king, then actually the king shows mercy to the thief. Like when a disciple is chastised by guru, actually it is the mercy of a guru who is chastising his disciples. So like this, King Vena will think, I am giving mercy to them. It's so cruel. Completely, his consciousness was not that level. His consciousness was very shrinked because he was death, grandson of Death personified. So Prabhupada is mentioning two important points here, that when the marriage is taking place, alliance is being sought, accounts are taken from both the families, from the girl's family and from the boy's family. And then how is the nature of girls' parents and their parents, at least 1-2 generations, and then how boys' families, how is their nature, and are they very nice, very good behavior, good character, all these things. And then after that, uh, horoscope is matched. The boy and girl's horoscope is matching, then only further proceedings are done. I've seen the people will come to villages and then they will, if they selected, they have pointed out somebody, then they will go around and find out about the family. And similarly, then proposal will come, then the other person will go and find around about the family, and then this is understood. Okay, this is good, coming from good family. Then only horoscope will be shared. And then horoscope matched, only people they approached, then further talk was done. So in this way, in the Vedic times, marriages were very successful. People used to stick till their death, and they remain very happy and satisfied in their marriage life. Just opposite to present age. Present age, we see that the divorce rate is 60% in Hindu marriages. 60%. Can you believe? I heard this long back, could have been increased even now more. 60% people, they get married and within few years, within few months they get divorced. I know so many people just married few days, 6 months, few months. they got divorced. uh, First marriage mostly will be not successful. The second marriage, somehow people will stick to that. But then there is no actually uh, happiness their marriage life, because these fundamental things are missing there. First thing is it's like how marriage is performed, how the boy and girls are selected, and second is the purpose of marriage. Now we see that that's completely the purpose is sense gratification, how we can enjoy sensually. And then when there is a uh, they are not able to access to sense gratification, then immediately there is a frustration and divorce. This divorce, Prabhupada is mentioning that it was never there in the uh, Hindu community that person will take divorce. It was later only by Nehru or someone else, another politicians, it was introduced that divorce can be given. And that's how uh, there was fight earlier also in husband and wife. It is said these are past times in the actually Mahatma Gandhi's life. He His father and mother used to fight, and his mother will leave home, or father will leave home. So much fighting, they will leave home. One of them, and then the person knows, okay, he's going, after some time he'll come back. Like that, he'll leave home after, for many hours afterwards, he'll come back to home, and things will become like before. And this will happen now. This is a account of a popular family. So this is the actually uh, household affairs. So there's a fight. And then at present age, if there's a little fight because of this divorce system, they go to the court and immediately file case and they separate. And what happens when they are separating? There is a child, and this is psychologically is completely he gets disturbed, and the whole family life is spoiled. The child's future is spoiled, and this all that happens. In Vedic periods, we see how the match was done, and the goal of marriage was not sense gratification. As a whole thing is called it's called, one of the samskara is vivaha samskara. As 10 purificative processes, Prabhupada is mentioning in the previous purport, that among the 10 kinds of purificative process, one is pumsa savana, in which wife is offered some prasada or remnants of foodstuff offered to Lord Vishnu, so that after sexual intercourse with her husband she may conceive a child. So like that, before marriage, after marriage, from the birth, there are so many samskaras. 10 samskaras are mentioned. And in this way, one person is purifying himself. So this Vivaha Samskara is also one of the important samskara, where a person gets married to a suitable wife, and she is called better half, and in Sanskrit is called Dharma Patni, because she assists the husband to perform religious duties. In this way, by performing the activities of dharma, the person actually is purified. His consciousness is raised. She also protects the husband not to fall into any adharmic activities, because there are vasanas inside a person. So in order to fulfill that vasana, to this actually one accepts a suitable wife. No, just to, so this is mentioned in Bhagavatam that the wife protects the senses, sense of a husband. In this way, she protects him from doing adharmic activities. So therefore, she is called Dharma Patni. And and she also assists the husband to perform all the religious activities. It says that one is not supposed to perform sacrifice without the presence of wife. So they are both together sit and perform the sacrifices. So there are different samskaras. In this way, we see that this goal of marriage life is not just sense gratification. The higher goal is there to progress in spiritual life together. It's mentioned the wife assists the husband, and husbands perform the religious activities. It's not that he does what he likes. He actually follows the varnashrama system, in whichever varna he is situated, or in whichever whichever varna is situated, accordingly he performs his duties as a uh, Vaisya, Chudra, Brahmana, or Kshatriya, and a wife assists him to perform his duties, and both of them progress materially and spiritually. This is how the whole Vedic society is actually designed by Krishna. Chaturvarnya Maya system Guna Karma Vibhagasa. Now there is a women liberalization. They are thinking that woman is equal to the man. And then there is a competition between man and woman. This thing, but they actually both design is different. They have been meant for different purposes. But artificially it is trying to equate. We see the role of a woman is different, the role of a husband is different in the social structure. When the woman artificially try to become like a man, she actually cannot be secure and cannot be happy. In previous Vedic times, we see that what great respect was given to the women, were uh, given uh, given so much respect, and they were so much secure, and they were very happy. They did not have the anxiety that, no, what if I don't work, I will not be able to survive. And contrast to that, in modern time, we see that they have just become like object of sense gratification, and they're very insecure and very much depressed. If you go to psychiatrist, we will know the data that what is exact ratio, who is more depressed. So uh, so how nicely is the whole Vedic system is designed, that just by following it, one remains peaceful, happy in their whatever situation they are. Therefore, it is design of Krishna. It's perfect design. Chatu Varnya Maya system Gun Karma Vibhagasa. Uh, According to one person who is situated in whichever mode, he is given a particular type of duties and activities, and he performs that, and he progresses from where he is. Not that everybody is equal and everyone has to be treated equally. It's all artificial system. How we can treat a thief and a king equally? So uh, the whole Varnasrama system is very, very scientific. This is our first point. Prabhupada was telling that how the both sides should be considered, boys' side and girls' side, horoscopes should be matched, and there should be a higher purpose in the marriage. In this way, they should get married. Then the life will be more peaceful and happier. So the best sacrifices is mentioned for this age is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, engaging oneself in service of Lord, Krishna consciousness activities. When both boys and girls come together with this purpose, then the lower tendency of sense gratification, like animalistic tendency, will be slowly will reduce, and one can experience that happiness. And second point here, Prabhupada is mentioning about King Anga. I'll read from Prabhupada purport. Uh, It appears that King Anga did not get a very good wife in Sunita because she was the daughter of death personified. Sometimes the Lord arranges an unfortunate wife for his devotee so that gradually, due to family circumstances, the devotee becomes detached from his wife and home and makes progress in devotional life. It appears that by the arrangement of Supreme Personality of Godhead, King Anga, although a pious devotee, got an unfortunate wife like Sunita and later on a bad child like Vena. But the result was that he got complete freedom from the entanglement of family life and left home to go back to Godhead. Hmm? So you see Prabhupada's life also. Prabhupada was not very satisfied. Prabhupada is telling out of his experience. He was not very satisfied with his wife. She was not very cooperative. And Prabhupada has a second thought to marry again. Hmm? He even went and told his father. He got married in a small age. Those days, in 90s, there was still people were getting married in a small age. And Prabhupada was, I think, some 16 or 17, or then uh, or maybe a little more, or his wife was smaller, maybe 13 or 14, like that, or much more smaller. Got married, and then Prabhupada was not satisfied with his wife. Then he went and asked his father that time, thinking about remarrying. Then his father, Prabhupada's father, was a pure devotee, and he said, "See, if your wife is not good, actually it's the blessings of the Lord. Don't think that you should remarry and get a good wife. She's not good; is very good. It You will be able to easily give up family life later when it's required." Hmm? Prabhupada actually he appreciated the advice of his father, and he did not pursue his idea. And exactly this happened. His wife never cooperated throughout. We see in his Grahastha ashram. And Prabhupada was even then he was carrying out his all the duties very sincerely. But at one point of time it was too much. She sold Prabhupada's script of Bhagavad Gita, which he has worked hard and written. For more than a year, sincerely worked hard and written the script. She exchanged that with 40 biscuits for purchasing tea. And then Prabhupada was very disturbed. Huh? How she can do like that? And Prabhupada was always used to advise, to cooperate. And Prabhupada will give discourse, they will not come and sit. They will hear some other room, they will talk. And Prabhupada, once he asked, you have to select Jagannath Baldev Vadda Maharani ki jai, Nitai Gaur Sundar ki jai. You have to now select between me or tea or me. Then she said, I'll select tea. And that jokingly she said, she would have not meant that, but she was also very chaste and submissive wife. But in spiritual life, she will not cooperate. In household duties, she will do very sincerely. But in this matter alone, she was little against this. Maybe whatever reason would have been, because Prabhupada was very, very dedicated to spiritual life and order of his spiritual master. He was very much dedicated for mission of his guru, but his wife was not taking it up. And then because there was no such cooperation, it was like Prabhupada felt heartbroken when this happened. These two incidents happened when she exchanged the script for tea, and when she said, I select the tea instead of you, then Prabhupada decided, okay, now let me go and take sannyas. And Prabhupada immediately he left. So it helped Prabhupada. Here also we see King Anga was so much caught up with responsibility. It's not just a king, Kshatriya have only sense gratification. Along with the sense gratification, they have got so much of big responsibility to manage the whole state. It's not an easy task. Small managerial responsibility one person gets is such a big headache actually. Even to be a head of a family is a big headache. especially nowadays. And to be a head of the whole country, a whole planet, how much uh, responsibility would have been. And especially when one person is very sincere. So King Anga was actually carrying out that. He was taken up that challenge and responsibility is coming up in the line of Dhruva Maharaja. The responsibility is to make whole citizen Krishna conscious, spiritual responsibility, make them happy. The king will consider the citizens just like their children. So much affectionate. We see that even in a in a traditional family, we see that pets are also even considered with lot of love and affection. We see nowadays also people keep dog or cat and all. They treat them very so much. It's like become so close to their heart. I heard somewhere one lady passed away and she, yeah, in her will she wrote $3 million for her dog. $3 million assigned for her dog to be taken care. Hmm. Such a big amount. After she especially writing in her will that this should be deposited and my dog should be taken care. So like that, King Anga, he has assumed that responsibility, and he was not. It was not very easy for him to come out. Hmm? Very difficult to get out of that. We are already stuck in that place, position, responsibility, and that is one thing. And of course, when we are in a royal order, there is so much opportunity for sense gratification. Everything is on there, just on click, whatever we want. Everything is available. Best food, best clothes, best so many people to attend to, and so much of prestige. There's a control, power. So Janma Aishwarya Sutasri, this is all when one is born in a higher parentage, higher education, high opulence, very learned, very difficult to get out of the situation and take up Krishna consciousness very seriously. Very, very difficult. Bhisma Pitama is glorified when he took the vow of following brahmacharya. All the devas, they showered the flower upon him because in his situation to follow brahmacharya was very difficult, being a crown prince of the whole planet, and very strong, very handsome, very capable. To take such an vow is extremely difficult, and therefore he was especially appreciated by all the devas. That great. See that King Anga was put into the situation by the Lord where he was completely cornered. He had no other way. His son is such a cruel personality. People will bring the complaint to Anga, and he does not know what to do now. His own son. Yeah, we heard about the 10 samskaras for purification. When we perform these samskaras, we actually gradually purify. Because there is some mistake in purifying this, performing these samskaras, that purification may not happen also. And this is an elaborate thing to perform this whole samskaras. But there is one more samskara is there, which when is performed, one immediately is consciousness is completely revived, and it is 100% secure, and one will be successful. Now King Vena took that purificatory process. What he did, when things went out of his hand and he did not know what to do, then he decided, now I'm going to surrender to Krishna. He just on that night he was so much anxious that what shall I do, and he decided, now let me quit and go to forest and assume the most important responsibility for myself. And what is that? To become Krishna conscious. This is the most important responsibility anybody has. to make oneself Krishna conscious. King Anga decided, he decided, I'm going to forest and completely focus on my spiritual life. And he left everything in the hands of the Lord. You do whatever you want. It is in your hand. You see that? He decided and went to the forest. And after this, we know the story. That how he handed over everything to the Lord, and of course the King Vena became king, and he became, he took charge, and he started even more uh, troubling the citizens. But in due course of time, from the king Vena actually appeared the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prithu and Archi. So King Anga handed over everything in hands of the Lord, and in return, everything became so auspicious. So this is what happens when we completely depend on the Lord, sincerely pray to Him. It is the most powerful samskara. One has, when one takes, immediately he is purified. Sar dharman paityajya maam ekam saranam bhaja ham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshaisyami ma sucha. So one should be dependent on the Lord. And King Anga decided, let me go to forest and practice completely on becoming Krishna conscious. And later on, everything became very auspicious. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, पतित पांच प्रभुपाद की जय.